Hello, everybody. This is Grace with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to all my fellow travelers. Thanks for coming back. Today is going to be very interesting because I am going to be surrendering myself. And when I say this, it's not that I don't usually surrender when I communicate with you, but it's going to be at a deeper level. There are things that I will be covering I wanted to move on from because I've let them go already. But I'm being called to share these things for the purpose of the younger generation. And when I speak and I say younger generation, I'm being told it's not solely biological this is referring to. It's also in regards to on a spiritual journey. There are people that are more mature. There are people that are less mature. And that does not, I am not bringing blame to any party. It is just reality. And so I will be as thorough as possible. I will release all messages without trying to filter them out to make them politically correct, because that is what I am asked to do, and that is what I am empowered to do, and that is what I was called to do. So today's podcast, the episode, the topic is going to be life lesson reviews. And I will begin by sharing the spread I have before me. The first card that came out was Lost at Sea. And that can mean many things. But what I love about this card in particular, it has several other parts that are messages to be shared. And I'm being called to share everything I see on this card. Okay? Now, Lost at Sea. First of all, the card's upside down. Right? So that's telling me if it's upside down and if it's lost at sea, it's telling me that whoever it is that is believed to be lost at sea is no longer lost at sea. And this is why it is upside down. Yes, we all have seasons. There are times, we're going to go to the second part of the card. It says drowned. There are times you drown in your tears. Okay? Life happens. Right? Unexpectedly. Right? Betrayals. And so you find yourself drowning in your tears. You find yourself not being able to connect to others because you feel no one would understand. Especially when they've warned you. Especially when they told you you could do better. Especially when you chose to close your eyes, right? As we continue on this card, the next part says flood. And that's when everything comes out, right? Things you've already known, things that you're realizing, things that were secrets all at once, right? Next part of the card is tsunami. And that's exactly what it feels like in the spirit. And I want to say in the mental. And I want to say in the physical. Because spiritually, you question what's going on here. I've always been in touch with things seen and things unseen. In my case, I was born that way. Since a child, I've always been in touch with things seen and things unseen. And so I believe that's protected me all of my life. When I'm in trouble, I'm notified, right? And the good thing about me is I listen to the guidance I receive. I'd like to say 99% of the time, right? There are times when I decide to take part of the 1% and my spiritual support team, including my ancestors, including God, including my angels, including my entire. The list is too long to list. Spiritual support team. Sometimes I'm allowed to go through what I choose to go through because it's my right to choose, right? Because as I walk through whatever I decided to do, I am able to learn the lessons that I was sent here to learn. And this is what some of you should understand or could understand about life and how things goes. Because I'm hearing some of you saying, but why did I have to go through that? I didn't deserve it. And the reply I'm being told to give you is, it was a lesson that you had to learn. It was a test, right? And when we choose to learn and retain the information, the good news is it never has to happen again. And so this is why I push for the collective to be very present in every season. In the seasons of being lost at sea, in the seasons of drowning, in the seasons of being in a flood, in the seasons of tsunami. Be present. Feel your emotions. I said feel your emotions. Be angry when you need to be angry. Those who pretend and say, well, this hasn't affected me. This is below me. Those are the ones that end up with high blood pressure and, all these other ailments that could have been avoided if they learned the process of releasing. As you release, you don't do it just in your power, but you give it to God. In fact, I'm being reminded of a vision that I had where those of you that find yourselves in situations where you were betrayed, all right, I'm here for you. I want you to understand what I'm saying here. Because when you are called, I would like to say, in the magnitude that I am called, it's in relation to your life story. And this is why those that we still speak of till today, that have passed away ages ago, right? Their bodies have turned to soil, but we still make reference to them. We still hold them in high regard. We still are impressed about their resilience, right? It's because when they accepted the call to fulfill their mission, they shared their stories. This is how transformation occurs. Nobody cares about how in depth you want to go if you have not been there, done that. If you have not escaped that. If you are not victorious over that. That is what you are lacking, those of you that are pretending. We are being called to be authentic, to be transparent, to be in our truth, to be unapologetic. And anything that comes up short will go in the back of the line as you are witnessing the international shifts. But getting back to the vision I had, I asked God to teach me what I needed to know to heal myself. Point me in the right directions. Help me to seek guidance in the right places. Uncover all the false prophets, all the false teachers, all the false friends, family, everything that is not for my highest good. Assist me in releasing it, in closing the door, in never looking back. Now, those of you that have had good imaginations as kids, something you may not know about yourself, you are able to be very powerful when it comes to visualization, right? And that's assisted me in ways that are too long to share with you today. But I saw myself put in words. Understand, it was a vision. So I held betrayal and I put it in a bag. I held theft and I put it in a bag. I held adultery and I put it in a bag. I held rapists and I put it in a bag. I held molestation and I put it in a bag. Sometimes it's not a stranger that opens doors to traumas that you experience. Sometimes it's someone you said I do to. Open your eyes. Clear out your ears. Be present in the moment. Because it's going to take all of that for you to heal. Acceptance. That someone you may have trusted enough to eat from them was poisoning you. Time after time after time. Someone you were sleeping next to was doing seances over your head. Night after night after night. Someone who hated you that you shared yourself with moments of regret. Right? Some people came to kill, steal, and destroy. And see, this is what you need to put in the bag. Kill, steal, and destroy. Whatever it is that you've experienced, you need to put it in the bag. It will stretch out. It has room. It's spiritual. Continue releasing it. Continue purging. Continue trusting that God can. And give it to God. Drag the bag and give it to God. Walk away and never look back. Let me tell you why you never look back. Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm going to share the facts. Okay. My life lesson is being awakened to the fact that I do have guardian angels. All right. I do have beloved ancestors that come to my assistance. Okay. I do have a very long spiritual support team that protects me. All right. I do have God that stands before me. All right. That's helped me with my confidence, with my wisdom, with the steps I take, with assurance, right? Let's not forget abundance, right? Let's not forget prosperity, right? I'm equipped. I'm prepared. We ain't gonna stop. And so, in the knowledge of who I am, in the knowledge of the favor I have over my life, I know I can't bend down. I can't go back. I know I must stand tall. I must stand with those that ride for me. Spirits as they be. If you are in danger and you are being warned to walk away, but that toxicity holds on to you, but you can't let go, but that the addiction is ruining you, understand, the messages you receive, the warnings you receive will decrease day after day after day. There are choices in life. You could choose to have assistance, right? You could choose to be on a team that protects you, that is available to you 24/7, that is looking out for your best interest, or you can choose to continue to maneuver in the mysteries of life. See, what I don't know, they know. I'm going to say it again. What I don't know, they know. What I don't see, they see. What I don't hear, they hear. And this is why I'm on the right path, regardless of people's approval, regardless of their opinions, regardless of their gossip. I'm not going back. I know who empowers me. I know who stands with me. I know who doesn't play about me. Do you understand? You see, until you are in power, you don't understand the favor of power. And I've come too far. You have to accept in this life, until You are brave enough, courageous enough to stand up for something you believe in. You will continue being led astray. You will continue being a follower. You will continue being an afterthought. You will continue being a thief. You will continue being a liar. You will continue being a prostitute. You will continue destroying everything that comes in your path. These are realities we must accept. When someone is cursed, when something is cursed, it is contagious. Energy is shared. And this is why when you tie yourself up with someone that is of an evil vibration, you receive their karma. So the wiser understand there is no room for fraternity when it comes to dark and light. Now, I've made reference many times before, balance is the fruit of the universe. Where does that come to play? That comes to play is those that are in the light continue in your walk in the light. And those that are under spiritual warfare get equipped with wisdom, with secret mysteries, of how to continually detach yourself. Detach any energetic cords. Learn how to see what is unseen. And so that is your happy medium. It is opening yourself up to enrich yourself in areas of knowledge. Happy medium does not include doing what they do, right? Because you might as well just join that side if you're going to do the evil things they do. Because as you do them, the consequences will come. You don't give life. You can't take life away. That would equate you to being in the dark side. Whether you conducted a spell or you paid someone else to do it, or it got out of hand, or it was just to make you jealous, or it's because of my childhood, or it's because someone lied to you. You are what you do. Because that is the story of you. And regardless on how you believe you've transformed, you believe you're transforming, you must be awakened to the fact it's for you. It's not to regain a friendship. It is not to turn back the hands of time. It is not to get an opportunity to get my get back. Understand that. So the exercise that is being offered to you is include everything that you feel overwhelming to you in a bag and bring it to God. Let it go. Walk away. That is the only way you will be able to regain who you are meant to be. And those of you that are looking for deliverance, well, God, why haven't you delivered me yet? Why haven't you given me somebody else? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Why did you promise this and it didn't happen yet? Let me tell you, until you release that bag, right? Until you walk away, right? Until you leave the state of doubt, right? Everything that is on your manifestation list, according to your highest good, is on hold. See, God has a way of getting things done, right? If you don't want to do it the easy way, we're going to show you that you don't have an option but this way, right? And in those seasons of lack, you feel that, right? And then you surrender to God and say, okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the valley. We about the mountaintop right now. What do I do next? And in His divine timing, you see, when you put God on hold, now you can't get upset when you're on hold, right? Right? I said right. And so be very careful when you make the decision to put Him on hold. Because you might experience a mirror. Some things are irreversible. Okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm about facts, right? Some things are irreversible. Now the next card is spiritual questioning. That's telling me that you are questioning your faith, things you've believed in all your life, things that are clearly false, things that have brought you to your demise. Things that have wasted your life. The dark night of the soul. When you are brought to the destination, oh, it's time to start over. And right now, I'm not doing it by what she said or he said. I'm doing it by what I know. I said what I know to be true because it has manifested in my life, right? That's the power of assurance, right? Investigation. That's asking God to opening your eyes. Those of you that have been lied to, if you're like me, it just takes one time for you to lie. I'm going to say it again. Slowly. If you're like me, it only takes one time for you to lie. Right? Everybody has their pet peeves. But once I know you are not trustworthy, or you don't get a second chance. Right? Because the fool that you made out of you is not the fool that you're going to make out of me. Right? And so, I don't take confessions too kindly. When it comes to what had happened was, the truth is, what I forgot to tell you is, what they told me not to tell you is irrelevant to me. Because it all is in the same category that you put yourself in. Lies. And so if you are fortunate to have a connection to God, He reveals the truth. Because the truth cannot come out of the mouth of a liar. Omitting truth is a liar. Making excuses of why you need to give confirmation, why you need to give half truth. I was trying to protect you. She did not mean anything to me. That wasn't the plan. Still is in the same category. Lies. Right? Trust is the foundation of a relationship. And I'm being told to tell you to take some time. Those of you that are single. And review your relationships. Review the patterns. Did A lie? Did B lie? Did C lie? Did D lie? Did E lie? Because if you find yourself in such pattern, it's time to look inward. It's time to ask God to equip you with what it takes for you to be able to use your discernment. It's time for you to ask God to assist you in learning this lesson so you don't have to repeat it. It's time to choose what you will do. Right? You can also choose to continue that pattern for the rest of your days. Or you can choose to find your way to abundance. Right? It's all about choices. Next, spying. Yes, they will be spying. Those that have betrayed you, okay? They will be lying. Those that have betrayed you, right? But understand the power that lies in you. Understand the power that surrounds you. Understand that you don't need to get no get backs confirmation. You don't need to get no get backs. It's gotten. You see, when you walk in your purpose, you have your team. Okay? Your team doesn't play about you, okay? Now, let them spy. In their process of spying, you do your part and you protect your privacy. You bring it to the attention of God to not allow intrusion when it comes to your life, when it comes to your life's plans, when it comes to your Akashic records. Ask for protection. Be selective with who you communicate with. Be selective with who you allow in your circles. Because all they need is to be in your circles in order to report back. Okay? Wake up. I'm being told to tell you that naive you needs to wake up. Okay? Because someone out there is still being naive, I'm being told. So that naive you needs to wake up. All right? Thank you, God. The next card is questioning authority. That's when they begin. These ops, right? These enemies, right? The spiritual warfare. That's when they begin to question authority. Am I on the right side? Why is it I can't overtake her? Why is it I use my life savings to kill her, to shut her up, to do it discreetly using black magic? And it hasn't worked. Day after day after day, week after week after week, months, years. She's still here. What is it about my authority that they're so weak? And it brings them to the lesson God was trying to teach them. God is God is God. You understand? All knees shall bow. All tongues will confess. that He is authority. He is all you need. He is A to Z. True story. Now, the next card is strategy. And I've given you many tips to strategize, how to start over, how to not look back, how to use your discernment, how to bank on God, how to live on assurance, in assurance. It's time for you to put strategizing as a to-do list, in your to-do list, and put it into application. Stop living life by chance. Understand and accept there are things you can't control and there are things that you can control. And be in control of what you can control. You see the difference? Pay attention. Next card is rest and rejuvenation. You see, one of the things that they hope happens to those that they target is for you to be in so much fear that you do not practice self-care. You do not get your rest. You do not rejuvenate, because that brings you off your balance, right? And that makes you more susceptible to fall back and to experience the deception of spell work. It requires for you to be balanced, to keep your vibrations high, in order for you to be able to stand tall, be ready, fight back. Right? And so those of you who are not resting and who are not rejuvenating, you're being called to do so. Take your time and prepare yourselves for bed at night. Whether it is tea you drink, whether it is a diffuser you put on for aromatherapy, whether it is a sound machine that you use, do what it takes to get your rest every day. And if you need a nap, do that too. Make time for you. See, what the energetic vampires want to do is to suck all that is good out of you. And so in order for you to be strong enough and to have yourselves in a protective energetic field, what is necessary for you to do is being balanced, right? Because it requires your balance in order for you to be on a level in vibration, to be in close contact. You're connected as it is, but in close contact, in communication with your spiritual support team, right? So as you rely on God, as you rely on your spiritual support team, you need to learn to be confident in relying in you. Okay? Next card is second chakra. See, your sacral chakra is something they will definitely be attacking, because that is in the area of fertility, and everything is connected. We're not just speaking on a biological level. We're speaking on a physical level. We're speaking on a spiritual level. In detail, we're speaking on a financial level. In further detail, we're speaking on a professional level. It is all connected. How fertile will you be in your life? And this is why you need to protect your sacral chakra with your life. You need to be in the awareness that it's your superpower. I'm going to say it again. It's your superpower, right? And so this is why you cannot be open to every Tom, Dick, and Harry as you make their acquaintance, because they carry energy. Because as they take your power, they dump and you receive. And this is why God is in the business of encouraging equally yoked, where there is an equal exchange of give and take. Where the person that connects to you, who is faithful to you, who is loyal to you, who loves you, is also beneficial to you. Confirmation. As you are to them. Do not settle. Can I make a confession? I'm raising my hand. Can you pick on me? All right? Because I've settled before. I want to share my story. I've settled before. And trust me, it's not a lesson that I need to learn twice. It has brought towers of destruction in my life. As my cousin once said, you're not a rock. You're not meant to settle. So that's something you may consider to reflect on. What area in your life this January of 2023 am I settling in? Because I am not a rock and I'm not meant to settle. Because when you settle, you accept less than what you are worth. When you're settled, you become stagnant. When you are settled, you become left behind. Forgotten. Irrelevant. We all have choices. What is your choice today? What is your choice in the beginning of this year? What is your choice for the beginning of the rest of your life? Choose wisely. Next card is daughter romance. See, we were speaking of equally yoked. In order for you to find that romance that you want, right? Because everyone defines things at their level of vibration. But in order for you to be loved the way you want to be loved, you see, you can be loved by millions of people, right? But those millions of people can love in their own kind of way, right? And this is why we have something that we have discussed, studied, and put into application called love languages. It's a book that was written, and it is in many languages, in many countries, and it's making a lot of difference. How does my partner demonstrate love? How does my partner feel loved? You see, when you're equally yoked, you're on that same page. When you're equally yoked, one of the ways you can love is words of affirmation. Another way you can love is spending time with the person. Another way you can love is, are you giving? How do you give? Right? Sensuality comes to play. And so forth. But when you are equally yoked, you both experience what you long for. When you are unequally yoked, you come up short. It doesn't matter how much effort you put in. Let's try again. Let's go to counseling. I'm willing to take medication. I'm willing to go to rehab. I'm willing to not to talk to those people who tried to kill you. I'm willing. It doesn't matter when you're not equally yoked. It doesn't matter. I'm sure most of you have heard before, you can fake to a point because your true self always comes out. As a matter of fact, that was a rude awakening I experienced. I never thought I would have ever heard that someone would say, well, the reason I said what I said is because I wanted to be in a connection with you. If I didn't say what I said, you would not be in a connection with me. And something sacred as a union, I would never believe that would be the thought process that one would have as you go in to a union. But it woke me up to believe that we're all different and we all see things differently and we all have different morals and values. And this is why it takes time to not only hear what is said, but see what is done and know He's the one. It takes time. It is something that is serious. This message is not to sway you to see things my way, God's way. It's not to convince you that you are in the wrong. It is not to make you change. It is just to deliver truth. I want that to be clear. Those of you that are saying, who is she? Who does she think she is? Who gave her right to make all of those rules? Nobody's going to tell me what to do. Oh, the list is long. Again, I share. What you do is your business. What I do is deliver as it's my business. Delivering the messages that are being sent. And as I always have said, take what you want and leave the rest. No one is required to listen in. If you do, it is a choice you have made. A choice that you will learn to live with. Your way, your time. Next card is woman holding a coin. You see, sometimes you're misunderstood. Sometimes the people you do help are the people that betray you. The people that you do help and you put certain things on certain luxuries, you postpone them. You have them on your to-do list because you have an open heart, because you want to help, because you want someone to move forward. Confirmation. Sometimes the person does not have those same intentions about you. And so, those of you who drive by the nail salons, drive by the malls, drive by whatever you're postponing, with the intention, let me help. Let me only take care of my needs, not my wants. First of all, you have to look in the mirror and apologize to yourself. Apologize for not benefiting you. Apologize for not seeing things clearly. Apologize for allowing yourself to believe in lies. Right? Because there are times you are willing to make certain self-sacrifices, and that same person that you've made self-sacrifices have the audacity to say, she doesn't even get her nails done. What am I using that money for my nails for? Can we guess what it could be? You see, when you make certain self-sacrifices, that doesn't mean you'll be appreciated. When you decide to do certain things on your own regarding self-care, I can do my nails, I can do my hair, I can do my makeup, the list goes on. There will be others that will be in the background to clown, to troll, to be immature. Confirmation. To attempt to make you a laughing stock, right? Not realizing the good that you give out, you will harvest. And most of the times, it's not the person that you helped out. But it is so overwhelming when it comes, you're like, this ain't nothing but God. This is God's signature. You see it right there? This is what God can do. You see, when God uses you as a voice to share His word, He has to give you a testimony. It's part of the plan. And so, even though you may have gotten stolen from, taken advantage of, lied on, experienced defamations of character, sabotaged, spied on, oh, let's not forget the black magic, right? We can't forget what? The black magic. Even through it all, God has a way of showing up and showing out. You feel me? Now, I don't think I'm being felt. See, some of you can't touch this, so you can't feel. You understand? God has a way of showing out. God has a way of lifting you up. God has a way of the mirroring effect. Oh, those of you that don't know, you will know the mirroring effect. Okay? And this is why the next card is anxiety. See, when you know what you have done, when you know your faults, when you know your secrets, when you know your theft, when you know you're so-and-so, aka Judas, or so-and-so, aka Jezebel, when you know, you know. See, you know, yeah, it's time for me to be in anxiety right now. Because everything that was prophesied is being recognized. You follow? You on that page? Everything that was prophesied is getting recognized in what? Real time. I said real time. Next card is creativity. Being told to share an inside joke. I enjoyed the moments I retreated. I deserved that. But the purpose of that was not only for me to regroup. It was not only for me to study. It was not only for me to take deep breaths. It was also to prove that some people are original with their creativity and some people copy their creativity. See, in my absence, as you compete in fantasy, what is it that you're producing? Can I get an answer? What is it that you are originally? Can we highlight that? Producing. See, you will come across paths with those that want to bring you down because they want to be you, right? They want to wear your shoes, right? It just can't fit, right? So there are moments God will have you sit down, right? Hey, take a vacation. Enjoy your family. Love on your loved one, right? And let's see them stand and dance on their own, right? Let's see them climb that mountain, right? Let's see if they understand the difference from permanent and a moment in time. You see, when it's man-made, when it's stolen, when it's only for a moment in time. But when it comes from God And it comes in its authenticity, and it is original. It is permanent, regardless of your retreats. Those of you that are called, those of you that are tired, those of you that are disgusted by certain presences, and you need a time off. You're being told you can take a time off. There are certain things you can control and certain things you can't control. And that is one that you can control. You can take time out for yourself. You can take time for you and your children. You can take time just due to routine. I will commit such and such time, such and such day. I will have my rest such and such time, such and such date. And when you give freely. I'm being told to tell you, give freely with no reservations, because the source is unlimited. Do not hesitate in the informations you give, because that would have you following the darkness. The dark want to keep things in secrecy. The dark does not want the majority of the population to know the truth. The dark wants you to stay weak in order for them to stay on top of you. The dark will withhold truth. The dark will frame you. The dark has intention to steal from you. The dark is hypocritical with you. The dark is energetically harvesting from you. Okay? So wake up to the fact that balance is key. Wake up to the fact that God's in control. Wake up to the fact that the battle is not yours. You're just called to do your part. You see, the next card is telling me some of you are in hesitation of your part, because it's telling me conch shell calling. Some of you know. Some of you know that you're called. I said some of you know that you're called. But you're hiding in a corner. You're afraid. You're telling yourself you don't have what it takes to be brave. But let me tell you, when you make that decision, I'm being told that when you hesitate on that decision, it happens for you. You understand? So the way it may happen is not a way that you would have preferred. But you have to accept the fact that when you had the opportunity to reply to your calling, you hesitated, right? You hid, right? You got on substances so you couldn't hear, so you couldn't see, right? right? The fact remains that when you're being called, it's echoed throughout the multiverse, right? It's no secret. And every action has a reaction. And lack of action is still no. If you don't participate, if you don't line up, if you don't surrender, the answer is still no. And when the answer is no, you deal. Can I just say you deal? And you read in between those lines. You deal. Right? We're going to move on. We're going to leave it right there. See, the next card is purge. That's telling me that there are things, people, and places that are still residue in your life that you still have not purged. Again, everybody has choices. You can choose to purge. You can choose not to purge. But you're going to deal with your reaction of your decision. A lot of dealings going on, right? Some in secret, and some for the world to see. Where do you fit in? Question. Next card is abundance. See, that's answering the question. Abundance. See, some of us have answered the call. Some of us have chosen. Some of us are unapologetic. Some of us do not need your validations. And some of us are rightfully in abundance. See, we don't need to wear a mask. We don't need to pretend. We don't need to fit in. We just need what was meant to be. Right? And so we are fulfilled in the here and now. Right? Because we chose fulfillment. Right? And this is how it falls into play. Next card is freedom. See? Abundance is hand in hand with freedom. See? I know that's going to go over some heads, but those who know. Abundance goes hand in hand with freedom. When you lack wealth, you lack power. Right? When you lack power, you do not have a voice. Has freedom come for you? Be careful who you try to keep captive. I'm reminded of the story of Joseph. You never know how life will turn out. Am I right? Am I right? Next card is attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Interesting. And so, as you live in your purpose, in the here and now, unapologetically, rightfully in your freedom, you are attracting romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Due to the depiction on this card, I will also guide you to not only spend time in nature, like we hear repetitively, but take care of nature, right? Whether you are watering the plants or, sprucing up the soil or whatever it is, contribute to the beauty of nature. This is what you are also being guided to do. Okay? You can choose or postpone. But as you postpone, you said no. That's what we fail to understand. See, those moments of procrastination, it's still no. Keep that in mind. Also keep in mind we are all connected. So as you give to nature, you receive from nature. The wise will understand. Funny, man. The next card is plant seeds. Again, as you give, you receive. So those of you that are in hesitation mode, oh, I'm tired of them copying me. I'm tired of these. Let's pretend we don't know what you say. Right? You're being reminded to detach. You can pray on that. You can ask God to help you to be in the mindset of making them irrelevant. Whether they're here or they're not. Whether they're spying or they're not. Whether they're copying or they're not. Guess what? Only you can do what you were called to do. Right? Says God. Period. Some people were called to copy. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Some people are also left with crumbs. Some people are aware that in your calling, competition is unheard of. How can you compete with a calling? Anyone that competes with a calling is someone that does not have a calling. And I am channeling this message. I said I am channeling this message. Anybody who competes with a calling does not have a calling. So stop fabricating your callings. Because you're in the wrong lane. Wake up. I said wake up. The fairy tales are left for the matrix. So get in your lanes. Next card is you are sacred. This is why God calls you to separate yourself. This is why automatically you choose to be ethical. You choose to have morals. You choose to exercise your values. You choose to be in alignment with your soul's purpose because you are sacred, right? What you create, confirmation. What you create is birthed out of sacredness and has the signature of sacredness, and so it cannot be copied. See, that's something you need to put in that bag and something you need to give to God, right? Because that's just an illusion they're giving you, right? Next card is Radical Rebirth. I'd like to pronounce her name correctly. In my attempt, I will say Mbuaya Nihanda. All right? That's who's represented on the card. And what I always encourage the collective to do is, out of respect, do your research. There's a story there for you. Study the lives of those that lived before us. There is wisdom in that. Next card is grief. And presented on this card is Allah. Grief. So, due to the radical rebirth, in association to transformation, there is grief. But what people fail to realize is, what do you expect? When you push someone down enough, time after time after time after time after time, I'm tired of saying time, what do you expect? Getting up comes with strength. And so, the saying, what doesn't break you makes you stronger, comes to play. If I have to protect myself, and the first time didn't work, and the second time it didn't work, or the third time. I said, oh, the third time. I'm being told to ask God. The third time, you might want to ask God. You might want to ask God if you have clearance. Okay? You might want to ask God. Right? Because you might not be ready for God's wrath. Right? There are those you can play with. Right? There are those that make you play yourself. Right? Excuse my giggles. There are those that make you play yourself, that allow you to believe what you want to believe, that allow you to say what you want to say, that will allow you to clown as you want to clown. In fact, they don't give you any regards. They don't need to spy on you. They've never even created a fake profile. Really? People have time for that? Y'all have time for that? Who has time for that? Why is it I am going to ingest darkness if I'm aware that I don't belong in such and such crowd, place? In my right mind, I will not find myself. Confirmation. See, that right mind is important. Let's stress that. In my right mind, I will not find myself listening to it, reading it, watching it. Nah. Because what comes in is what comes out. And so I would be spending my time wisely. I would learn to be productive with my time. I would learn to let live and let go. I would remember life happens. I would remember it's happened, it's happening, and it will continue happening. There is nothing new under the sun. I'm being told to tell you that those of you that are in situations where your boundaries are not being respected, and as you've made it clear that you've moved on, and whosoever is in an illusion and in the frame of mind of saying, if I can't have you, nobody will. Your response in the spirit is, if I don't want you, you can't control my will. Let that sink in, right? If I don't want you, you cannot control my will. I'm going to say it one more time because somebody needs to be fortified this morning. Your response to your oppressors should be, if I don't want you, you can't control my will. What I find humorous, funny, the next card is Queen of Sheba, Secrets Revealed. What I find funny is how these cards are so much in line with the subject at hand and the points that are being made. For example, being in an illusion that I didn't do anything wrong. Everybody cheats. It's okay if you say you're sorry. It's the Christian, quote unquote, thing to do. But the secrets that are being revealed is the detachments did not begin solely due to your adulteries, right? The detachments began in the unalignment of the love languages. In fact, love was never present. You understand? And so this is why it's so permanent in the decision to separate for God's sake. With no remorse. I find it humorous when people think that they can make you they can make you be with them. Feel me? See, that's when someone is not in their power. That's when someone did not know that they were under spell work. That's when someone did not learn how to play. And I'm going to let you read in between the lines with that. Okay? See, confirmation. If I'm teaching, I got to give homework, right? So I'm going to let you have that for homework. What does she mean? How to play. Wouldn't you want to know? Wow. Next card is Aunt Nancy. Betrayal, right? That's something I have experienced from many, right? Unjustly, right? And wow, as I'm looking at this spider's legs, I'm thinking, I've learned many lessons through betrayals. Okay? In fact, my eyes are now open to more of what was once unseen. I'm not alone. I'm protected. I have the light of God. I have the key to the playground. Those who understand, understand. Right? I can now readily identify the foes. Right? And I can quickly put you on block. Right? It's that simple. Life doesn't have to be complicated if you don't make it complicated. You just need to learn how to play. There are things you can control and there are things you can't control. So what's your story? Next card is, again, I'm going to make an attempt at pronouncing it correctly. Mbokomu. Mbokomu. And it's soul forgiveness. Something I would like to share about depression, because it's connected to soul forgiveness. Besides the record of it's a chemical imbalance, it's a chemical imbalance, it's a chemical imbalance. Depression is anger towards self. Some people have the habit of blaming themselves even after they've been offended, even after they've been stolen from, even after they've been lied on. In fact, their automatic response is, why did I trust? Why did I trust? And then anger is sent inward. If I didn't trust, it would not have happened. If I didn't love, my heart wouldn't have been broken. If I didn't give, I wouldn't feel played. If I didn't entertain, we wouldn't even be in the same circles. See, those are thoughts that come into our minds. And have us to reflect on the slip-ups of our past. And as we forgive ourselves to our core, we experience soul forgiveness. And we remind ourselves we are here because we are in school. Sometimes we are teachers, sometimes we are students. That was a class I took, a class that I don't like, a class that I'm not fond of, a class I would like to forget. Some of you don't like math. Some of you don't like language arts. Some of you don't like history. It's a class. It may be a subject you liked. It may be a subject you hated. But it assisted you in fulfilling the requirements to reach the point of graduation. It's part of the journey. Being present in your journey is the destination. And so soul forgiveness comes to play. See, I know how to play. And that comes through self-healing. As I said, it's all connected. See, the next card is a very interesting card because I feel the presentation of this card is unfortunately stigmatized with a lot of unjust, unjust perception and understanding. Sometimes when people defend themselves, sometimes when they stand up for themselves, sometimes when they get their freedom, they are then revered as problematic, as the villain, as someone you need to watch out for. And this is why I like to meditate on the knowledge that was given to me through the connection to the spirit world, which is the fruit of the universe in balance. And so there is good and bad in us all. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to repeat that for the fake saints out there. I said the fake saints out there. We all have light and dark. The fruit of the universe is balance. As you encounter another entity, you determine who you see. If you want to see light, confirmation. If you want to see light, you approach accordingly. If you want to see dark, you approach accordingly. If you're given the understanding of God, you recognize the truth. And so, as you stand up for yourself, as you say no to your oppressors, as you decide for yourself, as you fight for your rights, there will be gossip. There will be people that make up stories. Remember the telephone game when you were kids? You say something to one person, they say something to the other person, they say something to the other person, and at the end of that train of communication, what the receiver states the message as being is always incorrect. Because as you receive the information, you interpret it in your own way. Right? And so you relay it in your own way. You relay it in your own understanding. You relay it through your own experiences. You relay it through how it affects you. Right? Stay away from gossip. Stay away from the hype. Stay away from the lack of information. In fact, study, read, meditate, wake up. Now, on this card, Elzuli Dantor is presented. And the subject that she is being regarded for is etheric chords. And the reason why that is, some of you that have seen her in artwork, you've seen her with a machete. right? At times, holding a baby, right? And so many times she gets the stigma of being negative. But there is truth that is unseen. You see her with the machete. You see her with the scars on her face. You see the dark like to cling on her. Oh, I know her. She can defend me. She can eliminate others for me. Let me tell you something. The wise know the whole story. Okay? So those of you that like to get into other people's cultures and steal, right? Taking what you want and leaving the rest. Being dishonorable. Approaching with the spirit of Judas and Jezebel. There are two sides to the coin. I am aware from my studies that she also represents freedom, right? And so, confirmation. Those of you that are false teachers, the wannabes, those of you that need to be in a group to be in power, y'all know who y'all are. Come on now. Those of you that are in illusion 99% of your times, she is not who you connect with when you're trying to oppress. I'm hearing make it make sense. I'm hearing ça pas fait sens. That doesn't make sense. If she represented fighting for freedom, how then would you go into connection with her and request to oppress? Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. I'm trying to get this message out. Okay? In your practices, make it make sense. Because if you know the whole story in association with her, she represents freedom, right? And she comes in the defense of single mothers, right? So if you are betraying a single mother, right? If you are stealing from a single mother, if you are trying to sacrifice a single mother, the list goes on. And then you go into connection in attempting to bring malintention, death to a single mother. Of what? A Haitian bloodline. Can I say make it make sense one more time? I said make it make sense. Right? What are your chances at achieving your goal? Right? And this is why a lot of you are being unmasked as unlearned. Right? As much as, notice the throat chakra, as much as you pretend to know, as much as you insinuate that you are better qualified to teach, as much as you fabricate the one God has chosen as a nobody, you didn't know. I said you didn't know that disturbing her would be the end for you. Ha! You didn't know that. See? That eluded you. See? See, when you are not called to be in the awareness of the truth, there is a lot that eludes you. And this is why you must copy. You must pretend. You must frame. You must lie. Right? And so the same entities that you've called on to bring sabotage, destruction, sickness, death into the lives of the chosen are the same ones that are revealing your truth. Get it together. I said get it together. Right? So as much as she comes into defense is what the belief is to those that are in their truth, it is also in the awareness on the opposite side of the card or on the opposite side of the coin. That's not a playground you want to be a part of. Take notes. Next card is, again, going to pronounce her name with the best of my ability. Atet. She represents worthiness, right? You have to earn. I said you have to earn. Can I say that one more time? You have to earn your ranks. What are your contributions to the world? What is the longevity of your contributing to the world? What does the world know about you? What inspiration do you represent? Can I say worthiness? Worthiness. Those of you that need a dictionary, get one. Next card is stability. See, when you've earned your positions, you have a foundation that enables your stability. You've done the work, including the shadow work. You don't have time to compete because you leave that for peons, right? You are stable because you remain balanced, right? You come with the light and you stand up to the dark, right? The light does not bow down to the dark. Okay? Because whoever is teaching you that is teaching you false teaching. All right? You do not bow down to you stand up to the dark. It bows down to you. Your shine is too powerful for it. But I will repeat, in that same instance, balance is the fruit of the universe. One of the most impressive weapons that you have, usually used by the dark for their falsehood, for their lies, for their smearing campaigns, is something that we hesitate to pick up, those of the light. Oh, I have to be nice. I need to be the bigger person. What would that look like? I need the congregation to see me this way. I need to be in this facade because this is my comfort zone. Let me tell you, also utter, I choose to be weak. Y'all need me to repeat that? You should also be uttering, I choose to be weak. Because the strong light it all up. The strong is transparent. The strong came to make a difference. The strong needs this to stop. And if it takes sharing your story to avoid this same happening to occur in the youth's experience, you're willing to be a vessel and share prevention. Prevention is better than picking up the pieces. I understand there is another phrase, but the word has escaped me at the moment. But in essence, that's what it means. Prevention is better than having to pick up the pieces. Are you stable? Are you doing what it takes to be stable? Are you in the energy of raising your vibration? Are you in the awareness that it takes a raise in vibration to attain stability? Life lesson reviews. Next card is banishment. Oh my. Hex banishment. I recall one of the cards earlier was referring to secrecy. There are those of you that have been manipulated to believe that an individual in your life was your shortcoming. An individual in your life brought you bad luck, when in reality, you forgot to check yourself. And in that same instance, you expect forgiveness for hexing an innocent individual, for banishing that individual out of your life by use of what? Can we say black magic? No, it wasn't done Sunday morning. They was busy at church then. And this is why this is the season of being unmasked. Because you could play church man all day. But you can't lie to the spirit world. I've said before, there's no such thing as secrets. Now, the ones of you that have been called, I am well aware that you are protected and that your levels of information are on a need-to-be basis. See, that's one of the perks of being on the right team, right? There's no need for you to continue to be all in my business in order for you to continue to conduct the next black magic ritual. Nah. In fact, there are ways to leave you in confusion. Let me not put it all out there. Right? Confirmation. I got that. There are ways to keep you in confusion as you chose. When you declined your calling. Wow. The next card is Book of Shadows, Secret. This is what was revealed. that congregation members were utilizing such tools to hex, to banish, to curse, to sacrifice, to kill, with the same breath of hallelujah, right? And we wonder why some folks get disgusted of the hypocrisies of the Pharisees, Judases, and Jezebels. Can I get a witness? Have mercy. The next card is death. Right? And this is why, time and time again, I have been spreading out the knowledge that be careful who you send death spells on. Right? Because those that are protected, right, aren't affected, right? And so when it bounces off of them, it goes back to sender, right? And the truth of the story is, if you are on overtime at delaying your earnings, those in your circles that are innocent and are not protecting themselves are in harm's way. Can I be real with y'all for a minute? I said those that are in your circles that are innocent of these crimes, that have not sent the death spells, because of their connections to you, are in what? Harm's way. Right? You can delay it for as long as you want until the expiration date of delays. Right? But how many people do you have to lose before you arrive to your destination? Question. Can I ask a question? We just want an answer. As for me and my house, I will make it my business to not be in any connection with anybody that is holding that type of karma and death cloud over their heads. Truth be told. Friendship where? Relative where? Care where? Can we be for real? It's about survival of the fittest. So if I know you have a time bomb on you, where exactly is my brain when I decide to sit down with you? When I know it's coming, right? Nah, I'm on Team Wise today. I know better today. I know if I connect with the wrong persons today, that I will have to pay what they owe. Let me repeat that. I said I will have to pay what they owe. That would get me out of the slot of being a generational curse breaker. That would put me in disalignment with abundance. That is not what I choose. Can we swallow that pill? You can decide for yourself what you choose. Am I going to let this living, walking, cursing curse my life? Or am I going to answer the call, be protected, be connected, have abundance for me and my house? It's a choice. And you should choose what you choose. Notice I didn't even say wisely, people. Because you have free will. Because oppression is unlawful when it comes to the laws of the universe. We all have free will. So I'm not here to tell you to choose wisely. I'm here to tell you, regardless, you will choose. And as you choose, you walk into your fate. Next card is discontent and boredom. And the man in the picture is looking down. Discontent about the situation at hand. Bored with the team he chose. But what's more revealing is the last card, which says Seven of Cups. Two, trying to use the right words here. Carefully using the right words here. Due to the lack and the discontent of his reality, he leans towards an addiction. Which leaves him with too many choices and unable to commit. You've ever heard that some people can never be satisfied? Well, those people need many choices because they're on the hunt of being satisfied. Which, if they are participating in risky behavior, your connections to them can put you at risk. And this is why God separates the irresponsible from the responsible. Right? I can't be led astray when I have answered my call. And God will not allow anyone to be in union with me as I fulfill my mission. You don't have to believe. You don't have to accept. But I'm still going to state the facts. Some things are destined. Some things are fate. Some things are illusions. Some things are wake-up calls. Some things are triggers. To do what the presence of me being a vessel to do is offer transformation. God will continue to use me in the area of offering transformation because I have mastered it. Sometimes when you question why confirmation, why have I experienced such and such? Why did I experience such patterns? Why so many lies? You're being prepared. You're being molded in the potter's hands. And so even in the wonder of the mysteries of life, you are still on the right path, in the right time, in the right direction. You're not meant to know everything. But some of us are favored enough to have moments of life review. And we understand things and why it occurred the ways it had to. This brings you to a place of acceptance, a place of gratitude, a place of strength, a place of bliss, a place of contentment, a place with I'm right where I want to be. That's alignment, right? That's when you're in a mode of fulfillment. That's when you're in the spirit of praising God and confessing, you were right. Your choice is always the best choice. Thank you for sparing my life. Thank you for helping me see what I didn't see. Thank you for helping me hear what I didn't hear. Thank you for giving me the wisdom to do what I needed to do. And once you have fulfilled these points of grace, you have graduated from the school of healing. So those of you that have experienced healing through today's processing, give yourself a hug. You worked hard at this. And I'm being told to say out loud, you deserve this. So in the mirror with a smile, I deserve this. Justice is mine. Peace, y'all. Be well.